All right, pre-fishing Alum Creek. Came up with a couple dinks. Nothing really impressive. Nothing to write home about. But I am loving this Bold North Outdoors freaking power pack, guys. I got my phone charging. I got my phone charger charging, so I can put this in my life jacket and charge on the go. So I got everything running. I got my fish finder running off this now. I got it running through the hull here inside the kayak, because these are not waterproof. They are water resistant. So keep that in mind when purchasing one of these. That you know, when you're out there with the rain, big rainstorm comes in, you don't want this on the outside of your kayak. So, well, we're all out here. Everybody's here getting ready. Tournament day tomorrow. We're all getting pumped. We're all going through our tackle, getting out all our gear. It's going to be a good one, guys. All right, guys, just got back from my camping trip at Alum Creek, and I wanted to show you guys my camping setup. I know I showed off my power box and how I powered everything at a campsite with no electric, and you know, it was last minute getting at the campsite, and everybody's out camping after the COVID-19 epidemic, so it's kind of hard to get a camping spot at a lot of the local state parks here in Ohio, and I'm sure that's probably the deal anywhere else in the country. So excuse the mess. I kind of threw everything in here last minute, and of course anytime you do a kayak tournament and you're doing a camping trip, your car, truck, SUV, or Jeep will absolutely be destroyed. Going into my Coleman tent, I'm not going to set it out right now. I might have a stock picture of it, but man, it's a basic 5-man Coleman tent. It's not really 5-man. It's basically enough for my inflatable mattress and me. Maybe a cooler or something. There's not much into it, but I've had this tent for 10 years, and when I'm going on a camping trip and it's just me sleeping there, or me and my wife, then this is definitely the tent that I go with. Over top of I have a 3-room Ozark Trails cabin tent. I use that when I usually have fishing buddies coming along, and it's kind of a pain to take up and put down, so you definitely want a couple people to operate that tent. So getting into my gear here, let's pull my tote out. I got this one tote that I usually keep 90% of my gear. My tent goes into the top of this, so when I'm done with this video, I will put my tent back in. And of course, when I do camp, I try to get camping spots with electric. So I always have extension cords in here, and you'll probably see a few more extension cords. Patch. This is the Gorilla tape for canvas and materials they use for the inflatable mattresses. So this is sort of a patch tape. And I also have a few tent patches. These also work on inflatable mattresses, just in case I need them. I never leave home without my thermocell, especially on a camping trip. So I got one I keep with my fishing gear, and then I got one I keep for camping. And man, these things are awesome. You can get them at Walmart. They're pretty inexpensive. The refills can kind of get expensive after a while if you use it a lot, but there's nothing better, guys. This keeps the mosquitoes away. I remember Raccoon Creek last year. The whole place was just ate up with mosquitoes, and we turned the thermocell on around our campsite, and I don't know, maybe 20-30 minutes later, there was no mosquitoes. So this was awesome. I bring my tent fan. This is a cool little battery operated fan. I have asthma and breathing issues, so when those hot humid nights can be hard on me, so I bring a fan. Kind of makes it easier. This is cool because you can hang it from the top of your tent, and it also has a light on it. Don't leave home without your fire starter. Oh, I mean air pump. This thing's amazing. I use it so many purposes, so many uses for this at the campground. Not only to fill up your air mattress, but to help your fire. Say you got a nice little, you know, you're starting a fire, and the flames are kind of small, and you're having a hard time getting everything caught, then turn this sucker on. That'll send some air down into the fire, and that sucker will be roaring in no time. I have a Coleman Lantern, which is open for some reason. I'm sure all you guys have seen a Coleman Lantern before, so I won't get into this one too much. Came out of the box. I'll just stick out there. Yeah, there's the lantern right there. What else do I got in here? I've got another fan. This is one I used to bring with my wife when I'm having my wife and kids. Basically, propane tanks. I bring a solar shower. We've only used that a couple times. Don't forget your spoons and forks. Fire starters. These are awesome, especially when the wood's wet and you just want to get a fire going to cook. You don't want to screw around. They're great for that. Don't leave home without your paper plates. And then my crown jewel, I love to cook with cast iron. I have a cast iron skillet that I cook mainly 90% of my meals on. But then I have this Dutch oven. This thing is amazing. I've done pots of beans with it. I've cooked vegetables out of here. It's got beans in it right now from my last camping trip, so I'm ready to go with some pinto beans, guys. Put some bacon in there, maybe some ham. Get a nice fire going, get you some hot coals, stick that over the fire. You'll have yourself a good meal. So that's basically the gist of that, guys. It's not too complicated. I try not to bring everything. I try not to be one of them campers that's, that brings every comfort of home to their camping site. Like a lot of the people in the van, like the big RVs and those huge campers you see that have bathrooms and full kitchens and master bedroom. Yeah, that's a little crazy, but I enjoy roughing it when I'm camping, and definitely packing light's the way to go. So this is definitely not ideal for if you're like going to pack down your tent and go down the river and camp. But if you're fishing a tournament and you're cooking from your campsite, you're basically living at your campsite for several days during some of these kayak tournaments. This is a good setup, and it keeps me going. I got enough to keep me fed, and I can survive. Well, I appreciate y'all watching the video, guys. You can follow Yak Legion on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and any other social media platform I forgot. You can listen to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podbean, Stitcher, and most major popular podcast apps. And don't forget about Anchor.fm. You can go over there, and of course you can listen to it on Anchor FM, and that's of course the platform I use to record the Yak Legion podcast. So, well, thanks again, guys, for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Maybe give you some ideas for your camping setup. My best advice is just keep it simple. Bring what you absolutely need, and enjoy yourself. Rough it a little bit. You don't need all the comforts of home. That's the whole point of camping, guys, is to rough it and to get away from your comfort zone, to get uncomfortable. Sometimes camping can be hard, especially on people that don't enjoy the outdoors as much as some of us do, like our wives and our friends and children. It's hard for them, but man, it's getting them away from the laptops, getting them away from the computer, getting away from social media, and enjoying the outdoors. All right, guys, thanks again. Tight lines.